Day 215, Isaiah 21 through 23, Proclamation against Jerusalem. Chapter 21, The Fall of Babylon Proclaimed, Proclamation against Edom. 22, Proclamation against Jerusalem, The Judgment on Shibna. 23, Proclamation against Tyre. Even in the midst of declaring prophecies of doom and destruction, Isaiah's heart breaks for the guilty nations involved. Babylon, the desert of the sea, will be mercilessly crushed by Media, causing the prophet both heartache and dismay. Doomed men are never a pretty picture, and for Isaiah, Babylon has become more than simply a vision of death row. The same holds true for Jerusalem. Though her coming judgment is richly deserved, Isaiah finds it difficult to divorce himself from the grim fate of his countrymen. The prophet can draw meager comfort from God's promise that judgment will be stayed during Isaiah's lifetime.
Chapter 21. The burden of the wilderness of the sea. As the whirlwinds in the south sweep through it, it comes from the wilderness, from an awesome land. A grievous vision is declared to me. The treacherous man deals treacherously, and the destroyer destroys. Go up, Elam, besiege. Media, all the sighing of it I have made to cease. Therefore are my loins filled with anguish. Pangs have taken hold on me as the pangs of a woman in travail. I am pained so that I can't hear. I am dismayed so that I can't see. My heart flutters. Horror has frightened me. The twilight that I desired has been turned into trembling to me. They prepare the table. They set the watch. They eat, they drink. Rise up, you princes, anoint the shield. For thus has the Lord said to me, Go, set a watchman. Let him declare what he sees, and when he sees a troop, horsemen in pairs, a troop of donkeys, a troop of camels, he shall listen diligently with much heed. He cried as a lion, Lord, I stand continually on the watchtower in the daytime, and am set in my ward whole nights. And behold, here comes a troop of men, horsemen in pairs. He answered, Fallen, fallen is Babylon, and all the engraved images of her gods are broken to the ground. You, my threshing, and the grain of my floor, that which I have heard from the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, have I declared to you. The burden of Duma. One calls to me out of Seir, Watchman, what of the night? Watchman, what of the night? The watchman said, The morning comes, and also the night. If you will inquire, come back again. The burden on Arabia. In the forest in Arabia shall you lodge, you caravans of Dedanites. To him who was thirsty they brought water. The inhabitants of the land of Tamar did meet the fugitives with their bread. For they fled away from the swords, from the drawn sword, and from the bent bow, and from the heat of battle. For thus has the Lord said to me, Within a year, according to the years of a hireling, all the glory of Kedar shall fail, and the residue of the number of the archers, the mighty men of the children of Kedar shall be few, for the Lord, the God of Israel, has spoken it. Chapter 22. The burden of the valley of vision. What ails you now, that you are wholly gone up to the housetops? You that are full of shouting, a tumultuous city, a joyous town. Your slain are not slain with the sword, neither are they dead in battle. All your rulers fled away together. They were bound by the archers. All who were found of you were bound together. They fled afar off. Therefore I said, Look away, I will weep bitterly. Don't labor to comfort me for the destruction of the daughter of my people. For it is a day of confusion, and of treading down, and of perplexity from the Lord, the Lord of hosts in the valley of vision, a breaking down of the walls, and a crying to the mountains. Elam bore the quiver, with chariots of men and horsemen, and Kir uncovered the shield. It happened that your choicest valleys were full of chariots, and the horsemen set themselves in array at the gate. He took away the covering of Judah, and you did look in that day to the armor in the house of the forest. You saw the breaches of the city of David, that they were many, and you gathered together the waters of the lower pool, and you numbered the houses of Jerusalem, and you broke down the houses to fortify the wall. You made also a reservoir between the two walls for the water of the old pool. But you didn't look to him who had done this, neither did you have respect for him who purposed it long ago. In that day did the Lord of hosts, call to weeping, and to mourning, and to baldness, and to girding with sackcloth. And behold, joy and gladness, killing oxen and killing sheep, eating flesh and drinking wine. Let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we shall die. The Lord of hosts revealed himself in my ears. Surely this iniquity shall not be forgiven you until you die, says the Lord of hosts. Thus says the Lord of hosts, Go, get yourself to this treasurer, even to Shebna, who is over the house, and say, What are you doing here? And who has you here, that you have hewed out a tomb here? Cutting him out a tomb on high, chiseling a habitation for himself in the rock. Behold, the Lord, like a strong man, will hurl you away violently. Yes, he will wrap you up closely. He will surely wind you round and round, and toss you like a ball into a large country. There you shall die, and there shall be the chariots of your glory, you shame of your Lord's house. I will thrust you from your office, and from your station you shall be pulled down. It shall happen in that day, that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with your robe, and strengthen him with your belt, and I will commit your government into his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judah. The key of the house of David will I lay on his shoulder, and he will open, and none will shut, and he will shut, and none will open. I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be there for a throne of glory to his father's house. They shall hang on him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue, every small vessel, from the cups even to all the pitchers. In that day, says the Lord of hosts, shall the nail that was fastened in a sure place give way, and it shall be hewn down and fall, and the burden that was on it shall be cut off, for the Lord has spoken it. Chapter 23. The burden of Tyre. Howl, you ships of Tarshish, for it is laid waste, so that there is no house, no entering in. From the land of Kittim it is revealed to them. Be still, you inhabitants of the coast, you whom the merchants of Sidon that pass over the sea have replenished. On great waters the seed of the Shihor, the harvest of the Nile was her revenue, and she was the market of the nations. Be ashamed, Sidon, for the sea is spoken, the stronghold of the sea, saying, I have not travailed, nor brought forth, neither have I nourished young men, nor brought up virgins. When the report comes to Egypt, they shall be sorely pained at the report of Tyre. Pass over to Tarshish, wail, you inhabitants of the coast. Is this your joyous city, whose antiquity is of ancient days, whose feet carried her afar off to sojourn? Who has purposed this against Tyre, the giver of crowns, whose merchants are princes, whose traffickers are the honorable of the earth? The Lord of hosts has purposed it, to stain the pride of all glory, to bring into contempt all the honorable of the earth. Pass through your land as the Nile, daughter of Tarshish. There is no restraint any more. He has stretched out his hand over the sea. He has shaken the kingdoms. The Lord has given commandment concerning Canaan, to destroy the strongholds of it. He said, You shall no more rejoice, you oppressed virgin daughter of Sidon. Arise, pass over to Kittim, even there you shall have no rest. Behold the land of the Chaldeans. This people was not. The Assyrians founded it for those who dwell in the wilderness. They set up their towers. They overthrew the palaces of it. They made it a ruin. Howl, you ships of Tarshish, for your stronghold is laid waste. It shall come to pass in that day that Tyre shall be forgotten 70 years, according to the days of one king. After the end of 70 years it shall be to Tyre, as in the song of the prostitute. Take a harp, go about the city, you prostitute that has been forgotten. Make sweet melody, sing many songs that you may be remembered. It shall happen after the end of 70 years that the Lord will visit Tyre, and she shall return to her hire, and shall play the prostitute with all the kingdoms of the world on the surface of the earth. Her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness to the Lord. It shall not be treasured nor laid up, for her merchandise shall be for those who dwell before the Lord, to eat sufficiently, and for durable clothing. For those who